Joel Hetrick is off to a strong start in the chase for the ATV National Motocross Championship. But a switch to home turf for 8-time and defending champion Chad Wienen turned the tides in our last race. As the duo left a group of young and talented riders to merely battle for the podium, Wienen went for the lead and over the edge trying to get it. Hetrick would cruise to another moto win in his John Deere-themed Phoenix Racing Yamaha and was up front early, getting around Brandon Hogue to grab the lead in Moto 2. But Wienen had something special on this day, making the pass on Hogue around the outside. And then the fans had what they wanted, as the big man from Illinois made the move for the #1 spot. Hetrick gave chase. While Bryce Ford saw equipment problems end his podium dreams, Wienen stormed to another overall victory, keeping his title hopes alive and making the fans at home happy. Can he keep it going? We are ready. ATV Motocross at Briarcliff in Nashport, Ohio. So much ATV Motocross and even old school TT racing history here in the Buckeye State. So we expect a big group of fans out, some young riders in the amateur divisions hoping to plant the seeds for the next generation. As for today's riders, the TDR team, Vincent Merman, also Logan Stanfield and Nick Janusa. That's a home team, so they're looking for podiums today. Nick Janusa from New Jersey in a torrid battle for third in points, including Baldwin Motorsports' Bryce Ford. He's in that fight as well. There's Cody Ford's ride. Cesar Jimenez. Cool look there on the 101. Patrick Torini. Zach Decker on the 23. Marshall Smith running the old Suzuki there. There's Max Lindquist, Jeffrey Rastrelli, old and new in this series, and both capable of podiums. But I think Brandon Hogue has made the most noise.
Yeah, coming off last round at Sunset, it was an awesome weekend for me with the podium, and yeah, just really good vibes coming into here. I did pretty well here last year, so I'm really excited to get racing, and I feel like my machine's working really well, and we feel good, so just try to get good starts and see where we end up.
Man, has he been good this year from round one. But the winner of round one and your series leader, Joel Hetrick. Let's check in with the number 88.
You know, I'm just really looking forward to getting out there and qualifying, seeing how we stack up today. Obviously, I feel like I can come out here and do really well coming from Pennsylvania. This is like the same soil I'm so used to riding. So I'm pretty stoked on the track and how fast it is, and obviously how it's going to develop later in the day. I feel like it's going to be glassed over hard pack, and should be just pretty fun, and looking forward to going out there and doing the best I can.
Yeah, quite a bit different, the hard pack soil compared to the sandier terrain we had at our last racers. Chad Wienen getting ready. We'll talk to him later. And he's got a couple of wins built up this year as he tries to close on Hetrick in the series standings. Let's get to qualifying. Jeffrey Rastrelli, the venerable contender out of Florida. Hetrick throwing down on the Phoenix Racing Yamaha. You got a different look on that machine every week. Don't let the red fool you. It is a Yamaha, though. They used to run Hondas on that squad. Here's Hogue. Speed check jump there. He's got to get on the brakes. And now Wienen going to uncork it on the Wienen Motorsports Yamaha. And Max Lindquist. Soak up the airtime of those jumps. Try to keep that machine lower to the ground. But sometimes, as Janusa shows you there, you got to air it out. Depends on what section of the track you are on. There's Stanfield, very quietly fighting for third in the series standings. Great season for him. There's Merman, as we mentioned, the Ohio native. Woo! Here's Ford on the 4. He's had speed, but a little unlucky at times this year. His brother coming through in the 5, kind of the same thing. We've seen them in some early race tangle-ups. Zach Decker airing it out. And Patrick Torini's been a great addition to the series, the Italian. Jimenez. There's that Suzuki of Smith. The LTR 450. Joel Hetrick is your fast qualifier. That is a specialty. We mention that for him almost every week. ATV Motocross on MAV TV is brought to you by RP Race Performance, by Rocky Mountain ATVMC, and by CST Tires. Let's get back to it here. ATV National Motocross coverage. 8X, the 8-time and defending champ Chad Wienen. A little bit of a slow start to the year, but he is rolling now. And let's check in with the big man.
Getting ready for this round. I feel like we got something really good for today coming into this race. I did some tuning. You know, it's just all about executing my starts and getting out there and having some fun and putting it out here for the Midwest. Let's go.
2 wins in a row for Wienen coming into this one. Let's get ready for our first moto of the pro class. And the cool thing, as we mention every week, amateur racing, mini quads, are all mixed in the same weekend as the pro riders. So they get the same experience on the same racetrack. And these amateur racers become fans when the pros are out there. And I gotta say, this might be the biggest gathering of crowd we've seen this year. A lot of heritage of ATV Motocross in Ohio. I mentioned the old motocross races. Tim Farr, great champion of the past from Ohio. Also some great TT races. I remember the Ashtabula, Ohio race back in the day. Briarcliff. We're going to see if Wienen can keep the momentum going. Jeffrey Rastrelli has our Rocky Mountain ATV MC on board. Let's go. Hetrick has had starts dialed on that Phoenix Racing Yamaha all year. Gives a lot of credit to his engine man, his right-hand man, Dean Baker. Janusa with the onboard, showing what it's like. Ford's all over him right now, trying to find running room on the inside. And look at Hetrick already starting to pull away. Power move around the outside, couple of riders. Oh, and I believe that was Ford still behind Janusa. He goes off of his machine, and I think that slowed a couple of other riders up. Max Lindquist taking advantage, keeping it low on that number 2, the light blue colored machine making some moves. Everybody else got held up, and you can see now Hogue is trying to go with Hetrick, and there is a big gap back to the rest of the field. But how about Hogue every week showing speed? And he has Hetrick in his sights. Gonna learn as much as he can here and apply pressure. Pretty cool if he could even show him a wheel and make it a fight for the lead. He is getting closer every time we see him. Brandon Hogue has had potential for years, but something has changed here in 2022. He has turned that potential not just into a good race here and there, but he has been fast every week. Ford looks to be back up after that crash. Good to see he's okay. I mentioned that at the top of the show, though. The Ford boys, they have had some bad luck. Too many early race incidents, and that has prevented Bryce from doing what Hogue is doing, and that is running with the likes of Hetrick. Hogue's going to do 2 things here. Obviously, the longer you can stay with the leaders, the better odds you have of maybe winning the race. Jimenez having a problem here, but also it's going to keep those other podium guys far behind him. Lindquist and Wienen would be the next 2 in order, and they have a long way to go. So even if he dropped his pace a little bit toward the end of the day, and by the way, it is very hot and humid here in Ohio, they've got a long way to go to catch him, but Lindquist doing a good job holding Wienen off. Decker, very quick early in this race, still running in 5th. Hetrick starting to pull away just a bit. But like I said, that early gap that Hogue was able to build up, I don't know if Lindquist and Wienen can catch him, and you almost never see a moto where Wienen cannot get to the podium. But he has work cut out for him. He and Lindquist have had some great battles the last 2 seasons. I think they're pretty close off the track, but they've become closer and closer on it. See Hetrick airing it out. I mentioned his motor man. Dean Baker used to run that Phoenix Racing operation. He's actually moved back to Joe Gibbs Racing on the NASCAR side, but he and Hetrick are so close. He still comes to the races on weekends to help Hetrick try to lock this title down. Great story brewing there. Back to this battle. Torini, Ford, who's coming back through, and Logan Stanfield. Ford is on a rail after that early race crash. Here's Hetrick. He's got his group. And we say you got to surround yourself with good people, and they really want to get that championship this year. He's had a couple of them. It's Decker and Rastrelli are having a huge battle for 5th. There's Hetrick. He has pulled away, trying to stem off the momentum that Wienen was trying to build after winning those last 2 races. And a big change. Been getting used to the Yamaha for Hetrick. He's a Honda man for a long time. They switched to the Yamaha as fuel injection, a little more advanced than the old Honda, but it's taken a while for them. Now they've got it dialed. He has been very, very strong. And and also that machine has been reliable. So many times we've seen Hetrick upset with bike problems when the conditions get nasty, such as the mud races. But he's not giving anyone breathing room this season. Hogue still holding strong there in second. And Hetrick has it under control now. Born and raised in Pennsylvania, now lives in Statesville, North Carolina, not far from the Phoenix racing operation. They race Grand National Cross Country, they race AMA Arena Cross, they race AMA Supercross, probably the widest ranging team in power sports of all. Normally a Honda team, but again, this Yamaha a little more advanced, so Hetrick has gone that direction. We go back to this battle. Decker and Janusa, great race for Decker so far, but can he hold on for top 5? Wienen getting impatient now, looking for running room on Lindquist for third. Like I said, you never see Wienen off the podium. But these kids are making it tough on him right now. Lindquist just keeps getting better. Still relatively new to the pro ranks. And I think what you see more, of course, is the consistency. You're now seeing Hogue and Lindquist do this every single week. But I'd like to say the same for Bryce Ford, who has that kind of speed. But again, he's been luckless this year. So it has been a more consistent challenge to the Hetrick and Wienen dominance in the championship. We go back to Hogue here in second. Hetrick airing out that single, that speed check jump. It's designed to slow them down, because at the end of this long straightaway, they would have a ridiculous amount of speed built up. Oh, and Wienen getting aggressive now. And again, he and Lindquist work together pretty closely off the track, but right now it is desperation tactics, trying to get on that podium, bumping wheels, letting Lindquist know he's there. 1 lap to go. Can Lindquist hold him off? Waiting on Hogue here for second. And here's this battle raging for third. Can Wienen get it done? Wienen taking some alternate lines, looking for any way to make it happen here with a half lap left. Still can't make the pass. Gonna drive it down deep. This time they avoid the bump and run. I think Lindquist might have what it takes to hold him off. Checkered flag, another moto win for Hetrick. No! Hogue's machine expires on the last lap. Lindquist will hold off Wienen, but Wienen will get on the podium because of another heartbreaker for Hogue and another celebration for Hetrick. ATV Motocross on MAV TV is brought to you by RP Race Performance, Rocky Mountain ATVMC, and by CST Tires. Let's get ready for Moto number 2 here. Tough break for Brandon Hogue. Had second all but sewn up in Moto 1 until he had equipment problems late. There's the superstitious mullet on the back of Joel Hetrick, empowering him to the points lead and some victories this year, and he's got another good start and another hole shot. SSI decal is going to give him some more money. Oh, but bumping right off the line, Lindquist wants the lead. And Lindquist would have a shot at the overall because of the second place in Moto 1. It's the question we ask constantly. Who is going to be the one that can break through and win overalls against the likes of Wienen and Hetrick? Lindquist getting closer and closer. Bryce Ford this time a clean start. He's up there as well. Oh, Wienen this time powering down a rematch of Moto 1, Lindquist versus Wienen. Lindquist able to hold Wienen off to go to the speed check in the back. And as this battle begins, it allows Hetrick to pull away. Wienen on the inside, and it is Lindquist over the bars. Got high centered, so Wienen was making the pass on the inside. Lindquist didn't want to give it up, kept it pinned, and was in between those two berms, and he went flying. So now it's all up in the air as far as the overall on the podium, because you had the bad first moto from Ford with the crash, the bad first moto for Hogue with the bike problem. There's Hogue back up there, of course. He's in third. You've got Ford in fourth. And now Lindquist in the back of the pack. Cody Ford He has come off of his machine. Looks to be okay getting back on it. Plugging that tether cord back in. Head trick. Got to keep his head down now. With Wienen in the number 2 spot. And Wienen keeping him honest. And a little mistake from Head Trick. Well, that's what Wienen would like to see. As Ford, Janusa, and the rest of the field follow them around. Wienen would love a way to get in here and get the points back that he lost in Moto 1 with that third. Hogue, Ford, Janusa coming through next. Then Rastrelli. Give you a different angle here. That is so fun to watch. And it looks like Head Trick, by the way, stretching it through that section a little bit. Speaking of stretching, look at what it takes to clear these huge jumps. Hogue has his hands full. Bryce Ford has caught him. It's the battle we wanted to see in Moto 1. We're getting it in Moto 2. Oh yeah, Head Trick has definitely checked out now on Wienen and the rest of the pack. And that's what Head Trick can do. The speed for so many years. 1 or 2 races each season often upends his championship hopes. But on any individual weekend, catching him, passing him, I don't know if there's anyone that can do it. Wienen gave it a great run last race in the hard pack and ended up winning it. Or sorry, that was a little bit softer. Now we're on the hard pack, and Head Trick has everyone covered. And I'm not sure if Wienen's putting in the full charge now. He might just have to accept second place points. Lindquist looking to work his way back forward. After that high center and flipping over the handlebars, he's in 8th. Oh, you hear Ford just dumping the clutch. Setting up for that corner. Great battle there. Head Trick comes into the corner hot. Just a clinic today. And after the back-to-back wins by Wienen, he needed to reestablish himself, and he's looking for the 1-1 to do it. Hogue and Ford continue their big battle, with Janusa coming through next. It's going to be the overall podium today. Ford was able to get up to 7th at the end of Moto 1 after the first lap crash. So he'd be looking at a 7-3. That's still, or sorry, 7-4. No, he's made the pass. So now he's looking at a 7-3. And that could be enough for a podium. Not bad for being off the machine and almost run over at the beginning of Moto 1. Love those shots with our Rocky Mountain onboard. Oh wait, now Lindquist up to 7th. 2nd in Moto 1. He'd have a 2.7 that would actually outscore Ford. So Lindquist might have salvaged the podium here. That's going to feel good. I'm sure would have loved to have seen what he could do if he could have stayed here up front. These guys are in a hurry. You hear it. Love that camera, love that sound from Ford. Check in with Janusa here. He's 5th, but he's lost a toe of that group right in front of him. As the full focus goes to Head Trick. So much for the battle. Wienen not able to bring the heat to him today, and we're on to the final lap now. And Hetrick taking the first 4 race wins of the year, second at the last 2, now looking for win number 5 out of 7 to start the 2022 season. And Hoag's gonna wonder what might have been podium for sure, speed-wise today, but his machine let go on the last lap of Moto 1. We also saw his machine let go when he had a podium in hand at Daytona, our season opener. It's been that type of season for him, but he has definitely opened eyes. His ability to, again, consistently run up front week after week. Hetrick setting sail. Victory in sight. He goes 1-1 at Briarcliff here in Ohio. And somehow Lindquist pulls out the podium by digging out a 7th in this second moto. Let's talk to our top riders.
Wow, did it end with an exclamation point. Just great first moto. Just been riding good all day, and then come out the second moto, pull a hole shot, and all of a sudden second lap, end up on a berm over the bars, and never did I think I'd end up back here on the podium. Just got back on that thing, put my head down, and just started going to town. And all of a sudden, midway through the race, I got the board that said to slow down, and I didn't get it till the end, and all of a sudden we're sitting here on the podium, and well, it all makes sense now. But just so happy with the day and how the performance was. I'm just going to keep building on this momentum. So thank you to everyone that's helped, and it's been a great weekend.
The second moto, had a pretty decent start. Man, I made my pass quick on Max, and then I pushed around Joel for a little bit. He was running some pretty sporadic lines, but man, I just gave everything I had that moto and just came up short. But I'm gonna get back to work. Enjoyed my rides here at Briarcliff, but we're gonna just keep pushing and see what happens. 3 more rounds to go, but we're not done. Thanks.
Didn't get the start, but pretty close, and made my way to first really soon in the race, and just extended the points lead to, I think, 8 points today rather than 6. So it's just an awesome day. I mean, that's what we come here for. Come to win motos, but we got one end goal, and we're really working for it right now. And this track catered to me really well, and feel just awesome. So stoked to do this on this track, and picture perfect day. And we'll go to Pleasure Valley and try to do the same thing for the hometown crowd.
Yeah, we're headed to Pennsylvania next, but first, the CST Tires race recap. Hetrick hole shot in Moto 1. Critical juncture is going to be Bryce Ford getting thrown down, and he would come all the way back to 7th in this race. Wienen trying to make moves, got to get around Zach Decker, got to try to get around Lindquist. Hoag running 2nd. Here's Lindquist and Wienen battling 3rd and 4th. Strelli making moves. This battle with Lindquist and Wienen, it never stopped, but what did stop was the machine of Hoag on the last lap. He's running 2nd. Moto 2, Hetrick said I got in the lead really quickly. Yeah, in turn 1. And then Lindquist, as you see there, goes over the bars in another battle with Wienen. They come all the way back to 7th, and the 2-7 scores will be enough for the podium. Wienen tried to give Hetrick chase. Not going to happen. Hetrick just too fast on this day. And he gets the win, and you can see that ballooning points lead now of over 30 points. Looking good to win the championship for the 3rd time. For everyone at Racer TV, I'm Jason Wygant. Congrats to Joel Hetrick. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time from Pennsylvania.